Hey, what is going on, guys? Edward here, back with another video. It's been a minute since I posted a last video here on my channel. I've been very busy with a lot of things, personal, family things, so I'm glad I'm back. So, guys, I also was checking just the comments on YouTube, and I see that there's a lot of people who are still struggling with the structure. So I wanted to do like a part two on how to mark the structure of the market. You know, when it comes to break of structure, change of character, uh, understanding where is the higher low, high, where and so on, right? Because there's so much confusion into this thing, and I will go over a couple of things. Okay, try to make it clear and very simple. Right. So let's go ahead and go just marking up, starting from here. Right. Let's just pretend this is what the market is doing at the moment. So we might have just internal structure. We're gonna be showing you I'm going to be showing you the internal structure and external structure. Okay, internal structure is normally the small movements. Okay, inside a leg, for example, this might look, like this at the moment, right? It's a lot of noise. Looks like a lot of noise, right? But externally, what the market is showing most likely, and what I mean externally is maybe on big time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily. What we're seeing is just a push, pullback, push, and so on, right? And if it continues pushing up, right, we're seeing just a straight line. But when we scale in the smaller time frames, we see this noise. Okay, so the noise is called internal structure, and when you go on bigger time frames, right? You see that it looks like just a line to the upside, line to the downside, a straight line up, and so on, right? It looks less noisy, right? That's basically it. So when we are here, let's just pretend, let's try to mark up the actual structure. So what we're seeing so far, it's a little correction, a little push right here, minor correction, we got a push, minor correction, and we got a push. There's a thing that you have to understand that are happening every time the market, for example, gets to a zone, like to a what is it called, a pivot area or a pivot point, right? Like, for example, here or here or here, even actually in these areas right here, below these lows right here, we're normally going to see, um, internally, we're going to see a boss and a change of character. Okay, most likely if the price wants to reverse. Okay, um, that's why it is always very important to understand the structure, mark up the actual structure. Okay, so going back here, what we're seeing is, once the market goes right here, it creates this high. Now we see an aggressive break, an aggressive sell, right? Big sell right there. So this is basically what's currently happening right here. It's an inducement, right? Market is inducing sellers to start jumping in this area. So this right here, it's an inducement. With that being said, that means that if the price now breaks to the upside, this is a confirmed boss right here. This is an actual boss, a confirmed boss. Okay, what would you call this, at least right now? What would you call this and this? That's another mistake that that many people make as well, that they're saying that this is a break of a structure, this is also another break of a structure. In reality, this is not a break of a structure. These are just inducements, right? A break of a structure happens when the market is going like this, let's say like this, pull back, push. Now, this is an inducement. A break of a structure would happen when the price, let's and the price does this, induces first to the downside, and then goes up. This is a boss. Okay, this is actually a confirmed boss because the market is inducing first, is taking liquidity out before going up. So this is a confirmed boss. This is an inducement because there is no break of a structure. You see, the price is just doing a minor correction. It's just pushing up, pulling back. Do you see any break of a structure or little structure right here being broken? No, right? There's nothing. Now, what do you see from this push? Market breaks the structure or induces to the downside before actually going up. Okay, so let me go back again. In this case, what we're seeing right here is an inducement. The first inducement, which is this one, the market is taking the first low, right? It's taking it down, and and it also actually continued dropping for a little bit more to the downside. But this is my first. This is my actual first inducement right there. So, in theory, this means that after the price induced right here, this is my confirmed higher high. So far, this is my confirmed higher high. This is not a confirmed higher high. This is not a confirmed higher high, right? This is so far the push is just going like this. This is my confirmed higher high after the price induced for the first time right here. Okay, I hope it makes sense. So my confirmed higher high is this one after the price induces for the first time. Now that means that a break of a structure, an actual bust, would happen if the price breaks this high. Okay, that's my bust. That's my confirmed break of a structure. Now, after the break of a structure, you see that this was the first inducement. Right? The price did got a little deeper right here. So this is the lowest point so far. After the price now breaks to the upside, right? It breaks my structure right here, this previous high confirmed. That actually makes this low my confirmed higher low. Okay, so we are on an uptrend apparently from here so far. So the market does that, right? It does that push. It breaks to the upside. What is the market doing now? Again, just look at this structure. What we see so far, price pushing up, minor pullback, pushing up, minor pullback, pushing up, and a pullback right here. This pullback is inducing right here, right? That means that this confirms this is so far my highest point. Okay, that's my higher high, my confirmed higher high. It was not this one because this is not breaking a structure. When the price did a minor pullback, it's not breaking any structure right here. Now, if this pullback would have gotten, like, let's say right here, and takes this low, right, which is the closest low so far, then this would be my confirmed higher high. But so far, you see what the market did, right? Is not breaking anything at the moment. Price pushes up. This is the one breaking. So far, this is my inducement to the downside, and this is converting this, and it's making this now my confirmed higher high. Let me change the color. Let me change the color to green. Green. Okay. Now, what do we have to wait? If this thing really wants to continue pushing up, the boss will happen after that break. Okay. After that, that would be definitely my break of the structure. Okay. So what the market does, you see market, and then in this case, it goes deeper, little correction, deeper right here, taking another low. That's fine. And then price pushes up, very strong correction, strong breaking. Okay, finally having our boss now to the upside. Now what do we have? After that, price fails, right? Boom, biggest structure right here so far, which is this one. This is my first inducement. That confirms that this on top is my next higher high. Okay, that confirms that this is my next higher high, right? After the inducement to the downside right here. First taking down. Okay, now things are starting to look a little different right now. Let's see. After the price breaks, this is my confirmed now lower low. Okay, higher low. I'm sorry. After the price breaks this previous high, confirms that this is my lowest point. So you know that this is we are going to the upside. You know that in order for the price to do the change of character, Where is the change of character going to happen? Is the change of character happening here? Is the change of character happening here? Where is the change of character actually happening? It has to be here. The change of character would happen, in this case, we're bullish. The market has to break the first structure, lower a higher low structure, which is this one. My change of character will then be here. Okay? So what is the market doing? Market is all of a sudden, after reaching that, creating that high, starts failing very strong. So big drop, correction, and drop. Boom. You have the potential now change of character. So this is telling you that the market might actually be shifting now. So it's changing the direction. What do we have now to the downside in order for this confirm that this is my lower low now, because this is a higher low. Now, how do we know if this is a lower low? We have to wait for the market to mitigate or to do the same thing that it was doing here, right? But in the opposite side now. The market has to take liquidity, right? It has to induce first, right? Once that inducement happens, that is my confirmed lower low now. Okay? This is now my confirmed lower low, because now the market is inducing for the first time, the first structure right here. So market induces, right? After that inducement, that confirms that this is now my new low, right? This is so far my low. What would happen after this? It's a break of a structure now to the downside. Okay? So now what the market does, it does create a drop, correction, drop, correction right here, maybe inducing, or what it's actually doing here in this case, that this is where a potential, maybe an order block or something was here. Let's say there was an actual order block right here. Market took, maybe induced right there. It takes the liquidity out above this height, right? Mitigates the OB and then drop. After that drop, when the break happens, where is so far my lowest, my higher low, my lower high, I'm sorry. Now my confirmed so far in this area is this one. Okay, so this right here is my higher low. Okay, price breaks, little correction, another break. What is this? Is this a boss? Do you think this is a boss? No, it's not a boss. That's actually an inducement. The price did not break any structure. This is the first push right here. Just got to push, little correction, and push. Now, where does the inducement happens is with this leg. Price induces to the upside. Okay. After taking that liquidity, after inducing, now price breaks to the downside. Okay. Now this is called our boss. This is definitely a break of the structure. So you see what is basically happening. Oh, let me mark up now. So price drop. Is this my lower low? Confirmed lower low? No, this is not my confirmed lower low, right? Because the market has to induce first, has to take liquidity. So price drops. Corrects a little bit. Then another break right here. Is this my lowest point? Not yet, until it induces. Okay, once it induces, aha, that confirms my lowest point. And then now, since this is my lowest point, let me change the color to red. And now, after that inducement, the price break the structure. After breaking the structure, that confirms that this is my higher low. So there we go. Right there, you have your structure marked up. You see now what is happening internally and externally. Okay, externally, basically, what most likely you're going to see is this. You got to push and a pullback. So higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And then lower low, because now we're seeing the change of direction, the change of character there. The last boss was right here, right? A pullback, the price induces and now drops all the way down here, right? Low, another lower low, lower high, and potential lower low continuation. Okay, so you see how the market is moving, when it changes the direction, why it changes the direction, it will depend, of course, on what's happening on the market. If the market, I don't know, maybe this is a 15-minute time frame, and the 15-minute time frame is touching, I don't know, a 1 hour order block or a big resistance, right? That could actually make us go on that, uh, on the change of the direction. The price is basically shifting, going from bullish to now bearish. Okay, for how long it's going to go, we don't know exactly for how long it's going to go. We just simply follow the structure. Okay, and based on that, if you spot order blocks, you go with it. Okay, sometimes you can go short. I'm sorry, let me clean. So sometimes you can actually go short in certain positions, like for example right here, let's say the market in this pullback as well, because you are already seeing internally, because what is happening right now, I'm going to show you now internally right here. So this could have been in a smaller, if I keep going in smaller time frames, we have a structure right here, and we have a potential change of direction, right? A minor boss, change of character, and maybe we're going to find a small order block somewhere here. The market might actually mitigate, right? Taking this liquidity out, right? Mitigate and go on a short position for a sell. Okay, somewhere there. Stops here. Take profit at least that low. Okay, we can still go on sales. Not just because we are still on a bullish trend doesn't mean that we cannot get sales. Yes, we can. If at least short, if you're bullish, you can go for a short term, short period of time. You can go on a sell. If the market, in this case, let's say right here in this push, right? Maybe somewhere in this area, the market can also have created, maybe somewhere here, it created an order block as well. And you can actually go with the buy. And you know that because you are bullish on on a big time frame, market is right there. You can actually go take your profits in this area. You want to do it at the 50%, it's up to you, right? But you can actually follow the trend then in this case, right? Once the price starts shifting and changing the direction, you see the possibilities now to go and start looking for long-term sales, because the market has showed you the change of character. So you can go for maybe holding for longer, okay, the actual sales. Right? In this case, also maybe there's another order block somewhere here, right? You can actually go. The market will take the liquidity out, mitigate the OB before actually dropping. Okay, so based on this, on learning how to mark these structures up, you can at the same time you will find actual nice order blocks and positions for entries. Okay, so let me just go ahead and jump on the chart to give you a couple of examples. Okay, so in this part right here, in this example that I'm going to show you before actually we continue, I appreciate you guys actually watching until this point. This video, I appreciate if you give it a big thumbs up. And I recommend you, if you're actually new on the channel, to just go, once you go on my channel right here, you can go to playlist, and right here on the playlist, you will find out my strategies that I have been gathering here for a few years now, and especially the ones for order blocks. If you are interested in order blocks, if you want one of my favorite strategy as well, which is the TP strategy, diamond strategy, you have a couple of strategies in this area that you will love. Okay, especially order blocks. All right. So again, if you're new on the channel, give it a big thumbs up and perhaps subscribe if you like the content. So let's go ahead and jump in right, like in this example. We know that the price is bullish, right? And the market might just be doing a little correction, a little pullback, to then continue. So this is known as a pivot point, pivot area. The price is just perhaps returning right here, it's just doing a little curve, and then another curve right here to just right. So the price is just doing this to continue for the downside to the downside for a short period of time, and then going like this for perhaps uh, I'm sorry, for a longer period of time, right? Pushing up. So it's just following the actual order flow. So In this case, what we can see, let's go from here. I know price is very indecisive, is looking very indecisive in this area. From this high, price starts like being very choppy, very choppy. Does this induces for the first time right here, big inducement before actually dropping. So this is what? This is our boss. Break of a structure right there, right? After that low, the market created this low and pulls back very strong. We see this clean drop right here, right? And then look what the market does. Very strong push, then another drop. It tries to go up again, but it's failing. It's failing to create a high right here or to induce before dropping, and it fails instead right away. So, what would you say this is? What would you call this? Is this actually an inducement or a break of a structure to the downside? What would you say? It's not a break of a structure. It is an inducement. Why is it an inducement? Because it did not take the previous high, right? Like it did here, right? Market induced at least before it dropped and broke the previous low right here. Before the market drops and breaks the previous low, the market went up and took that high out, right? So that confirms that this is definitely our boss. Price is breaking right there, okay? So on that break, once it breaks, that confirms what? This is my high so far. This is my lower high. We can say that this is our highest point right there. Uh, this is my lower low. Yeah. Right here, what do we have? After the break, it pushes up, but is it inducing anything? It's not inducing anything. Right here is not inducing anything. So, what is market doing? Uh, Hold on. Right here. What is the market? What did the market do here? It's an inducement. So technically means where is the change of character if you're looking to for the change of character for now go bang. What where is the change of character happening? Because the price now broke this low, does that mean that this is my lower high and now this is my lower low? What does that mean? No. Like and you might think that maybe this is the lower low. So we are right here. Basically the market is doing this. You might think this is the actual formation. Lower low, lower high, lower low, then perhaps pushing up, right? But no, that's not what happened. What's actually happening? Eh, Because the market did not induce on this drop, we had a pullback, right? The market is not inducing anything right here. So technically, if it breaks, if this is not a confirmed lower high, this is by eye, yes. I mean, this low right here is this high right here is lower than this one for sure. Yes, it is. It is a higher low, but it's not a confirmed a higher low, right? Why is not a confirmed lower higher low? Because it has not mitigated. The market has not induced anything yet right here and broke. So no, there's nothing. So far, our last confirmed higher low was actually right here. So it means that the change of character would actually happen there and not here. This is nothing. Like technically speaking or structurally speaking, this is not our higher low, right? Our last confirmed higher low is this one, right? Now, the market did break the structure. Yes, it did broke this structure. Yes, that is it's a break of a structure, but in reality, it is not a bust. A confirmed, right? It's not because it's not inducing anything. It's just, I mean, it's not inducing anything to the upside yet. It's inducing to the downside. So it's just an inducement to the downside. There is no break of the structure. Price after that pushes up very strong. Once it breaks, okay. That once it creates, it breaks that change of character. In this case, yes, this is my confirmed lowest point. It's not this one. No, so far, what we have is this. This is the higher high, right? Higher low, lower low, lower high, lower low. You see, all that we have right here is just noise. All this shit is noise, right? Internally. Externally, it goes from this point to this point directly. So this is all noise, technically. Literally, it's all noise. Now, after the change of character, what do we have? Look at this huge aggressive momentum now breaking to the upside, right? It's a nice order block or POI, you can say, that you have in this case on this big push from here. You can mark a couple of things up. You can mark this one up, right? I like this one, this POI area, because it did induce before it pushed up. So it does have an inducement right there. When the market does induce before pushing up, it makes this OB very nice, like very high probability, right? Even though I don't see imbalance, there is no imbalance here. There is some imbalance here though, but not in here. So the next order block would be, I would say, here. Okay, the next zone that we have to watch, right? What does the market do after this thing? So let's see what the market is doing. So in overall, the price pushed very strong, right? The what we have. So price push, consolidated a little bit, it dropped, and then breaks. What do you think is this? What do you think is this? Is this an inducement or a break of instruction? This is a boss. Why is a boss? Because you can clearly see that the market took liquidity out. It took, with this spike to the downside, it wiped these guys out, right? Induced to the downside before it broke. So what does that mean? It means that now this is my confirmed higher high after the inducement. And once it broke to the upside right here, this is my confirmed higher low. At the moment, this is how it's looking at the moment, right? I don't know. I have like I'm just pretending I'm not seeing this area from here. This is all hidden, like just like that. So far, this is my higher low, right? Higher high, higher low, and so far, this is the highest point so far. But we still have to wait to see what the market is going to do. However, you see that you still have these two zones right here that you don't know yet. The market has not done anything. Let's see if it's going to actually continue pushing up without leaving you alone. So every time, you wait a little bit more and look what the market does. The market actually goes a little deeper, mitigates this order block or POI zone right here, and then pushes up very strong. So this is where things may actually get confusing, because you'll be like, what? Okay, but wasn't this the highest point, the lowest point? No, in this case, this is because it broke right here. I know, I get it, but the structure will change now. It will change based on what is currently happening, guys. There things like this, or for example, this drops right like this, and this formation that is currently happening very, very aggressively to the downside. It could be many things. It could be news. It could be reports. So the market structure can actually be compromised by this type of external things, fundamentals. Unfortunately, okay, you could have a nice structure, right, in a nice direction, but fundamentals can mess a lot of things up, can change a lot of things. Okay, so in this case, what we have is, let me just do this. Let me try. I'm gonna put this line here because I want this to be very, very clear. All right, I'm on a 1 hour. Let me go to how I want to see how that looks on H4. So on H4 is this one. Okay, on H4 we're still kind of there. It did broke. It definitely looks like a break of a structure. And so far, yes, by this point, the market had created a lowest point. But what happened then? You may think that the market then is changing the direction, right? It's a change of character. Maybe like, okay, market now is changing the direction because it broke this lowest point. But what happened instead? The price actually goes up, continues pushing up. So guys, you have to be prepared for this type of things. It is going to happen. This right here, as I mentioned, you may think is a change of character, but not. You have to refine now this thing. What is actually happening? The market mitigated, went down. Let me remove this. So market mitigates this order block with POI, takes the liquidity out from these lows right there, and then from that point it starts pushing up strong and it breaks. This is another uh, boss to the upside. So this is just like technically, as I mentioned, you have to understand, and unfortunately there are a couple of things that you're not going to understand or you're not going to see them until it happens. You know what I mean? So this that might looking like a change of character is not a change of character. This was just an inducement. The market was just inducing, right here, people to sell. But this is just literally another inducement. And now you have to make your correction. You have to just grab your dot, and this is your lowest point so far, right? And that's where we're currently at. This is our lowest point, my higher low at the moment. This is my higher high. I have to correct this because at this point, you can also say that this is where things get messy because this is my confirmed higher high right there. And this, that was my boss, this one should be the actual higher high. I know it looks confusing at the moment, but as I mentioned, this drop, I'm sure it happened because of some reports. It can mess things up, okay? And this is where some traders or most traders that show videos on YouTube regarding order blocks, they don't speak about, they don't talk about fundamentals. They just show the technicals, yes, but at some points they only show you examples that they look really nice. So I'm trying to show you examples where things are going to be looking a little messed up, and this is what's getting you confused. But what? Fundamentals. Okay, some type of news, fundamentals, especially right here. This is at 9 a.m. in the morning. Some reports are coming in here at this hour. Most likely NFP reports, CPI reports. A ton of things are coming up in this specific hour that causes the markets to drop or to get a little deeper. Okay, so I'm trying to show you all the scenarios, even when things get messy like this. Okay, because as I mentioned, you see a lot of videos talking about order blocks on YouTube, but they're only showing you the best examples they have in there. They're not talking about fundamentals, all the things that can mess things, everything up. Okay, so in this case, as I mentioned, you had this potential zone, and you had this potential zone. Of course, the market is this is it's live right here from this point. So so far, what do we have? We have that the market broke right here, and it's struggling to break above. So it's inducing so far. Okay, there's an inducement right there, and now it's breaking to the downside. So based on what we have, unless there are no more reports or news or anything like that affecting, our change of character would happen right there, below that low. That's our change of character. Okay, so we're still bullish. Still, at least from here, the market is still looking bullish. Okay, this order block did get mitigated. You have plenty of options. You can trade right there at the order block. You can even like scale in a smaller time frames. Which, by the way, let me show you right away. I want to give you that little tip right there. You can, if you don't want to get in right there on a 1 hour, if you don't want to do this, for example, you don't want to do this because I don't know, you want to have a better risk to reward ratio, right? This is a what? A 1 to 4. Okay, let's see how this looks right here on smaller time frames. So let's go from 1 hour, let's jump to 15 minute and see what the market is showing just right there. Okay, let's see what we have. So let me delete now. So now that we know that the market has touched right here, our order block is touching our order block. Let's see the structure. Okay, this is our boss. The market definitely induced right here. So it's our confirmation. The market did induce. So we do have an inducement right there, and the price breaks. So this is our break of a structure. We do have a boss. At least we know where our last boss was. So after that, what do we have? After the break of a structure, look what the market does. Big push to the upside. This is beautiful. Look at this. We do have the change of character in there in a smaller time frame, right? What do you think is happening right here? Look at this. This is so far my lowest point. So look what the market did. Big push, right? You can use this box. It's up to you. As I mentioned, you have plenty of options. You can use this box and go at the 50% of the order block, or you can go with the 100% order block, or you can even ignore the week. You want to just take the actual body of the candle as your order block. I mean, it's up to you. You have plenty options to do here. Okay. If you want to do it this way, you want to do it this way, right? If you wanted to cover the entire order block, it's up to you. What we know so far is that we do have the liquidity form right below this low. Look what the market did. It did build up nice liquidity right there, right? The market went down after the change of character, went down, mitigated the 50% of the order block. Your stop should be here, and your take profit where? If you already know, I'm doing this thing wrong. Hold it. So if you already know, right here, if you already know that the market is touching already an order block on a 1 hour, right, and your target was at the top, right? Your target was right there. You see what I did? I just went in the smaller time frames and find my sniper entry. Boom. This would have been a 1 to 21 risk to reward. Okay? By refining the entries. This is what you can do. Okay? But paying attention always to this different scenarios and the possibilities, guys. I cannot tell you the markets are not perfect. The markets are always being affected, especially in these situations right now with the inflation, war in Ukraine. Everything is messed up. Every time a report comes up, things gets very volatile and it's affecting everything, right? So you have to understand that for as much as we're trying to understand the structure, things can get messy and will get messy, and you have to be prepared for that, and you have to understand that that will happen. It's not that it may not happen. No, it is going to happen, and you have to be ready for that. Okay, so I'm trying to show you the best raw probabilities and the actual raw scenarios that will happen, and you have to get prepared. Okay, so I hope you guys were able to understand a bit more. If you appreciate this content, please give it a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you're not yet. Just go to my website also, teamprofitsenglish.com. If you want to learn more about what I'm teaching right now, there is a bundle. There's a big offer for this weekend, especially for this weekend, and in fact for the entire month of December. So go ahead, check it out. It's a one-time payment. I'm sure you're going to love it. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys.